excuse me, I lost my voice. Front Row Promotions, how are you all doing tonight? Tonight, we have Mistress Kandi, my co-host, my beautiful sister in the house, and we have our guest, Todd Poole from
What's up?
Blue. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. I'm like I was talking to you earlier. It slipped my mind. We've kind of gone back and forth about this interview for a while. We're going to do it this day. We're going to do it this day, and our schedules kind of got messed up. But here we are, and it's going to be great, and we got a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do. And Kandi, before we start the show, Kandi has a few things she wants to mention. Kandi, over to you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Hey,
you're
Todd,
welcome.
Welcome to the show. Quick apology, though. My camera must stay off. I'm not exactly feeling 100% today, but the show must go on. So here we are. So what I wanted to talk about real quick is an event that is coming up in the next month or so. We've been talking about it nonstop here on Front Row Promotions and on Mistress Business. March 17th, 18th, and 19th, the Rock and Pod Expo in Nashville will be happening.
Yeah.
So excited. And Todd, I know you are a guest. We're looking forward to seeing you.
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, we do it every year. Chris always asks us to do it, so we like doing it. I don't even know what we're doing this year, though. I mean, sometimes we play at it acoustically, but I don't know what we're doing. I mean, he kind of invited me to go, and I just kind of said something to the guys in the band, and he's like, "Oh, so the band's coming?" I'm like, "Hey, they all want to come support, so I guess we are. I guess all of us are going to try to get up in there and make it happen." So
that's
amazing.
We got a little bit of a new band in a way. So
hey, well, we're very excited to see you there, Todd.
Yes.
But what I wanted to bring up real quick, if y'all have not been paying attention to Mistress Business and Front Row Promotions, we got to get your head fixed because, hey, we've been talking about this for weeks and weeks. Mistress Business, our other show, our sister show here, we are going to be representing Mistress Business at Rock and Pod this year. Now, if you guys want your tickets, you haven't bought your tickets yet, what are you waiting for? Go to www.rockandpodexpo.com. We got a little promotion happening this year. If you look on the bottom of your screen, there is a promo code, Mistress Business. If you want your early or general admission tickets to Rock and Pod and you have not bought your tickets yet, enter that promo code and you'll get 20% off.
How cool is that?
On us. Oh,
Woo!
Awesome.
Ain't that amazing? So yeah, go to the website once, like I said, www.rockandpodexpo.com. Put in that promo code if you want your early admission or general admission ticket. We will give you 20% off. We can't wait to see you there. We got a lot of surprises. We have a couple of guests that will be hanging out with us at our table. Yet to be announced, but we're getting closer and closer and closer to that. So stay tuned on both our Facebook pages, and we will be revealing that very, very soon. But Lisa, I'm going to send it back to you as we welcome our guest, Mr. Todd Poole. Welcome to Front Row Promotions, my friend.
Welcome again.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Front Row Promotions. We couldn't wait for you to be here on the show tonight. We're so excited and everything. We're just, Roxy Blue. Tell us all about Roxy Blue and the name. Where did it come from? And all about you.
Oh, you want to know all the juice? Okay.
Yes, I do.
Well, I mean, it's kind of interesting, I guess. Roxy Blue name is weird enough. It's the stupidest story ever. I've had this question asked to me a bunch. So it was just basically we were sitting around. We used to sit around in our apartment, and we lived above a studio, and we used to just sit around. Sid and I had this apartment, and we would sit around with the guys, and we'd rehearse, and then, everybody was just, probably getting high or whatever. I don't know. But we decided we were probably watching Tora on MTV. We were just
those guys.
And we're
old
buddies
days
with those
on
guys.
TV.
Hey, the thing is we're buddies with those guys, and we used to watch them doing their thing. So we were just like, we got to get there. We got to do this, you know.
Yeah.
So bottom line is, I think the name actually came from, it was, I think we were all sitting around, and somebody said they went to New Orleans, and somebody called them Roxy Red. And I don't even know if we were thinking about names. I just think we were kind of just hanging out. And I said, what about Roxy Blue? Just off the whim.
Yeah.
And that's how, and it stuck, man. Everybody was like, oh yeah, man, that sounds cool. Let's go with that. And that's basically how we came up with Roxy Blue. It's that easy. And it's a silly ass story, but it worked. And it's got a little buzz to it. And people like it. So, and you know, it's weird because people still, I think the most humbling moment I've had in a long time is when we got, and I'm not trying to jump ahead of things too much, but when we got re-signed after Geffen, you know, time went by, we got re-signed to Frontiers. And the cool thing about that is that I did a lot of interviews, and man, when you do interviews like that, I couldn't believe I was doing interviews all around the world. Wow. And I just couldn't believe. Yeah. And I couldn't believe how people were just still drawn to Roxy Blue. And I think that it's a humbling feeling to know that people are still, you know, digging on your music, and that just, it freaked me out. I mean, how many people were still just, you know, wanting, you know, people knew more about me than I knew about myself. And, you know, and not to try to be, you know, Johnny Rockstar or nothing like that. It wasn't about that. Yeah. But just to know that there's people out there that we made some kind of effect, obviously, on people. So that makes you feel, you know, like you did something, you know, you did something, and people were paying attention at some point. And to hear people talk, it makes you feel, it made me feel great. It just made, you know, I do all the interviews mainly. The guys don't really do that many interviews, but you know, we all were talking about it, and just to know that people are still out there, you know, wanting to hear some Roxy Blue, it kind of gives you a little burst of energy, and it makes you feel good.
Yes.
So
it's like a good all over feeling, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it makes
you feel yeah.
It makes you feel like you might be doing something, you know, for a minute. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it gives you a little burst. And so for that, I was excited, you know, I thought the record that we did for Frontiers was a really good record. And it got a lot of good reviews, but like everything, you know, it's years go by, man. And, you know, it's funny because we had a few people that, it's weird because they were diehard fans. So I couldn't really say anything bad about it because everybody's like, man, what about that? What they said. And I'm like, you know what? People have their own opinions. You know, I can't tell somebody how to think. I can't tell somebody, you know, to like this or don't like this. Everybody does their own thing. So I don't knock somebody if they don't agree with me or they don't like something. But there was a few people that we had that were like diehards, and they were like, you know, this don't sound anything like Roxy Blue back in the day. And honestly, the only thing I could really say to that is it's 27 years later, and I'm not that guy anymore. You know, I'm not.
You change. Everybody changes.
Right. And I'm 27 years. I've got a lot more things to write about than the things I was writing back then. Because the things I was writing back in the day, I was writing about, you know, partying and whatever. And now I have a family and kids, and life has a way of turning around. And you know, I'm writing a little bit deeper now, which is cool. I like that part of it. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's a different animal than it was back in the day.
absolutely.
So
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Back then it was like footloose, fancy free kind of stuff, and now it's a different. It's a different time. It's a different
It
way
is.
of things. Yeah.
It's all different, compared to what it was back then. I mean, everything is different. So,
Hmm.
but I enjoy writing music. So, that part never changed. With me loving music and wanting to write music, but the the subject matter, the subject matter became a little different than what it was before because I'm not going to take away from what was going on back in the day. We had the greatest time. And I was thinking about this earlier because I
Hmm.
knew I was going to talk to you guys. And I was thinking, you know, we couldn't have asked for a better setup. We
Yeah.
got we got a huge record deal, which, you know, that was great. Then we got, we had Mike Klink that produced the record. We
Hmm.
had, Tom Zutot from that, Guns N' Roses, extraordinary, signed Guns N' Roses,
Oh, okay.
and, and signed Motley Crue to Elektra, when
Wow.
he was with Elektra. Oh yeah, he's a big dog. And then we had Doug Thaler, who was Motley Crue's manager, who
Nice.
ended up being our manager. So all that was a power. I mean, it was powerful, man, to have
Yes.
all those people on our side.
That is so
And
cool.
I'm not even sure that we knew at the time, or I don't think we took advantage of it or took it for granted. But it was just, I don't think we realized everything that was going on with us at the time. We didn't think, look at all these power players behind us, man. We weren't thinking about the pressure that was actually kind of putting on us in a way.
Right.
And we just wanted to play music. We didn't care about all the dumb stuff like that. We wanted to play music and jam out and just be who we are and do what we do. And that's what we did. And that's what Roxy was always made of. Just we were a rock band that wanted to play music. And
Awesome.
I never considered Roxy, like, and I mean no disrespect to anybody out, any bands or anything, but I personally never considered us like a hair band.
Okay.
I never did really, not to that extreme,
Right.
because I'm not saying anything about hair bands that they can't play or nothing like that. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying with Roxy, the guys in the band could really play their instruments. I mean, all the guys that played with me were really good musicians. I mean, they just all could play their music, their instrument really good. So,
Nice.
you know, you know what I mean? It's like, so I don't know. I look at that, and that to me, that separated a lot because, there's a lot of bands out there to me that weren't really so much players. They just
Right.
had a lot of good looking hair and but there were some that could and that could write hits, and that's one thing, My
Yeah.
friend Janie Lane was, a dear friend, and he kind of helped Roxy get started. He put out the buzz for us, and he liked the band a lot.
Aw.
Oh,
One of the greatest songwriters I've ever been around in my life. I mean, he was
Absolutely.
I mean, the man was a songwriting machine. He could write songs. I used to be at his house, and he would be writing songs like after we drank like a liter of tequila. That guy
Wow.
he'd be in there writing a song, and I'm like, how the hell are you writing a song? I mean, there's
After
like,
drinking, yeah.
because I used to look at him and go, man, all I see is three of you guys. Are y'all singing in harmony or what's going on? I mean, he, but He was one of those guys though that could just write, man, and it was just,
Aw,
it didn't matter when it was or what. He was just a great songwriter, and he inspired
that's
me. He
amazing.
inspired me tremendously uh, to
Aw,
be to write songs.
Oh, that is
Um,
so
for
cool.
sure. Aw.
Oh,
so
Um, so Todd, I'm just gonna go to the board here for a second. We got a bunch of people tuned in. Alfonso, I
oh,
believe
cool.
Alfonso, hi Lisa and everyone there. Amy says sorry, Lisa can't hang out, but she says hello. Now we have another viewer. Dustin McDaniel says, I have a question for Todd. I'm a huge Roxy Blue fan. After the first album, I know you had recorded a follow up, but grunge has taken over by that point, and you disbanded for several years. Was it simply a case of knowing the record label wouldn't give it proper promotion, or was it simply the album would have been in the same vein as the first one?
Uh, hey, Justin. That's a great question. That's a weird kind of a question. But to be honest with you, what happened in that era is that we wrote another record. We never had a chance to get that record out, but it was different. And what's weird about that is that I think all the bands were kind of searching for something at that point because Seattle had taken over, and you're trying to stay in the game. You don't really know what's going on. You don't know, you know, you just don't. I don't think anybody really knew what to do at that point because if you're used to
yeah.
doing one thing forever, and then all of a sudden it all changes. Now there were some bands out there that did try to change and try to be Seattle, but you've got to kind of stick to what you know. And we we wrote a new record and it was different, but it wasn't different in the fact that we tried to be Seattle. We were trying to, Scotty T and I wrote a lot of the record, which, Sid and I wrote most of the first record. But Scotty T and I wrote the record, and it was a good record, man. I liked it. Our manager, Doug Thaler, heard it, and he really liked it. But the fact of the matter is, uh, everything was coming out too late. And our manager came in and said, look, we're not going to release this thing because we're not going to record it because they're going to sit on it. I mean, you've got another record with Geffen, but they will sit on it, and you're not going to get what you need to get out of this record. So you're not going to get the promotion. So, I started thinking about that. And then I got a call from Janie saying that the guys in Warrant were, he was going solo and that the guys in Warrant were kind of looking for a singer. And they didn't want to split me and Roxy guys up, but he said, what do you think? And I'd like, man, I told him about what's going on with us and things were kind of sticky. So I went out to LA and sang with them for a little bit. And, we didn't play any live gigs, but we did some studio work and it was great. Had a great time. Love those guys. But I got some advice from some of my peers, some of my people that I look up to. And they were like, you need to go back and reinvent yourself. And that's what I did. And I started a band, and then soon after that was Saliva.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Soon after I did the thing with I think I came back and started a band called me and Wayne Sweeney. It ended up, was in Saliva. We ended up starting a band, and it was like I forgot what it was called. Stiff Kitty. No, it was called Sugar Ditch, and we had a good time, man. We did a couple shows with Tesla, and so it was a good band, but it just wasn't. I don't know. Saliva. Me and Wayne kind of branched off, and I was writing songs and playing drums, and we ended up kind of getting Saliva going. So that's kind of how all that came about, but. When we wrote the record, though, to answer your question, we we had a record, but we really truly were not trying to be Seattle. I mean, we just, I didn't even know how to be that, you know, I didn't live that life, you know, but
Right.
we did what we were writing. We had a good record, and unfortunately, it never saw the light of day.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, that's what happened, and it never saw the light of day. And you know, things happen for a reason. I'm not one of these guys. There's so many people I know out there that were so mad at Seattle guys, and they were like, "Fuck the crap, I hate that shit." But you know, I didn't. I loved it. I love the Seattle sound. I love the music. I mean, I loved all that. So
Right.
I wasn't opposed to it. It's just it did kind of excuse my language, but it did kind of fuck our career up a little bit, you know.
Right. Yeah. I remember going into music store, I think it was Musicland at one time, and they said I went to look for a certain album, and they said, "Well, we don't have that anymore. We don't have this." I said, "What do you mean you don't have it? Didn't you hear everything's changing?" I know, you know, and I was like, "I'm not ready for the change. I don't want that," because they said like all this grunge was coming in. I'm like, "What is grunge? What? I never heard of that," because I was all about 80s. And you know, all the hard rock,
Right.
heavy metal that we like to hear. And then this new music was coming in, and I'm like, I like the music, it's okay, but I wanted my heavy metal. So, you know, I'm
Right.
used to heavy metal, and I'm like, no, I want my
I
albums.
get it.
And all the record stores closed up. I'm like, what in the ugh?
I
Like
mean,
I
Sam
totally get it.
and
I
record
didn't know what
board.
heavy metal was until I was about 8, because
Oh no.
I was that like teeny bopper in the teeny bopper shit. I was like Backstreet Boys this, NSYNC that, and then my dad took me to a Kiss concert, and I'm like, that's it. So that was 98. I was introduced to metal.
You went from Backstreet
That
Boys right to heavy metal.
changed your life, and that totally changed your life, correct?
Man, there was nothing in between. There was like Backstreet Boys straight to Kiss, like Lisa said. There was nothing in between.
So who was
That's
your
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, who was your first concert that you ever saw? Your very first concert,
Boys.
like when you were a teenager. What'd you say, Kiss?
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys was yours, yeah.
Actually, are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're asking me?
Yes.
My first concert. You're going to show my age. Actually, let me think. My first rock concert was Kiss. My first rock concert. My dad took me to see Kiss, and AC/DC was opening up with Bon Scott as the singer.
Hot damn.
Bon Scott.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Damn, that is amazing. That's super cool. Woo!
So yeah, that's showing my age a little bit, but that was
Yeah, but that's super cool, man.
I remember my dad took me that, and I was like, I loved it. I mean, because I was all about, you know, Kiss, but I mean, AC/DC, and they ended up being, I mean, I ended up listening to AC/DC more than Kiss after years, but yeah, I mean, and that was insane. That was an insane, like, you know, double bill. I mean, and I didn't realize how cool that was. What's weird is I actually saw that show twice. They came back another time, and AC/DC was opening for them again. So I got to see. I know, isn't that cool? So
that's really cool.
So those were probably my first rock concerts, so to speak. But I used to go to this place in Memphis called the Mid-South Coliseum, and that's where everybody would go. You know, it was like the place to be.
Oh,
and man, I saw, and it's closed down now, and it sucks. But I mean, it's still standing, but it's not. Everybody goes to the FedEx Forum now. So, but I got to tell you, that was the best time of my life. I saw every concert there that you could ever imagine, and it was for real. And now it was all gone. People
Yeah.
moved on. And, it's not the cool place anymore, the FedEx Forum, and it's too big. But I think that was my first. To answer your question, by far, that
Yes.
was my first rock concert. Was I would have to say was Kiss and AC/DC.
That had to be a super and amazing show.
With
both of
a
those.
million more to follow, obviously. But yeah, that was
Yes.
obviously my first. So
Oh, so cool. Just like where
very
we had
cool.
Hammerjacks. If you ever heard of Hammerjacks in Baltimore.
Oh yeah, I want to play Hammerjacks.
Well, it's not here anymore. They tore it down for the stadium parking lot.
Oh, well,
They
that's
tore it
not
down.
fun.
No, and it was the best place to be every weekend, packed like anything. Kicks was playing. They had so many different major bands, and that was the place to be. That was the it place. But they tore it down, a while ago to put up the stadium, the parking lot, and all like that. For a long
I think Roxy played there back in the day.
Oh, I think so.
I think we did back in the day, because I was talking to Brad Lee one time, and he said that we might have a chance to go back there and play. And I was like, and Josh was like, yeah, dude, remember we played Hammerjacks? And then we also played, there was another cool place that we played in Detroit called Harpo's, which I heard that's still kind of going. So I don't know. Cool. I lost a lot of memory, not memory, but contacts from all those years, because and then I got with. Then my friends in Saliva were like, oh, yeah, well, we're going to play this club and this club. I'm like, yeah, dude, I've played there before. So, I mean, back in the day, they had us play everywhere. And we had the biggest time ever. I mean, I couldn't have had a better life. I don't regret anything. I still talk to Tom Zutot, our A&R guy. So I guess the one regret, and he was talking about it, the one regret that I think that probably we all have, and he regrets it too, is that the fact that the record came out too late. It just came out too late. It wasn't, we were 6 weeks too late. I mean, 6 months too late, if not a year too late, of coming out with Want Some. And if we'd have come out earlier, we probably would have been, we would have probably had a platinum record, I mean, or gold at least. But man, it just wasn't in the cards, and it's unfortunate that stuff like that happens, man. Because
the timing,
you work, you work your butt off to get somewhere. But I mean, honestly, I had the best time of my life, so I can't really get mad at anything. I mean, yeah, I wished it would have been a little different here and there, but we stayed in mansions. I mean,
wow,
I can't. Oh yeah, man, they put us up. We had it. I mean, Roxy, they treated us great. We had everything we ever wanted. There's no way nobody could have ever even guessed in a million years, or even thought that that anybody in our band would have never in a million years thought we were going to get this. And we got the play. We got everything kind of, and I don't want to say handed to us, because we were a hard working band. So I mean, we worked hard for everything we got. But the fact of the matter is, we had the power team, and we had everything we needed, and we enjoyed life, man. We were hanging out with everybody you could imagine because of our team. I mean, we were hanging with the Motley guys, our friends in Warrant. We got to go to all the big parties, no questions asked.
Yeah.
Those are Doug Taylor's boys, and they get to do anything, they're with Motley Crue, and we're like, and I think the one thing that I did kind of, I wished would have happened that never happened is that we played the Troubadour, and Tommy and all the guys at Motley came, and they had John Corabi with them, which I'm still friends with John Corabi. And Tommy announced that we were going on tour with Motley. And that was a highlight for me because I was thinking, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's what we, and when it never happened,
Oh.
it was like twice the kick down that it would have been.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You know, I mean, you know, things happen and they happen for a reason.
Right.
But anyway, we had a good time while it lasted. And you know, I say when it lasted, but you know, we're still going right now. We got a little lineup change. We changed lineup a little bit, but we're still kicking. I mean, we're working on some new material for a new record. I mean, I'm not one of these guys. I mean, honestly, I can't really. It's not about not playing because I don't want to play, you know, or I'm too old or this or that. My deal is that I'm built. That's how I'm built. I mean, I
Yes.
play music. I can't just quit, you know. I mean, I can't just, you know, go, oh yeah, well, I've got a wife now, I got kids, I can't really rock. You know, I've met people like that, and then they come back, you know, a couple years later, and they're like, hey man, I'm getting back into it and stuff. I'm like, oh really? That's cool, you know. And I'm like, but you're a day late, dollar short, dude. You got to stay in the game. If you don't stay in the game, dude, you're out. You're either
Right.
in or
Keep
you're
going.
fucking. You're in or you're fucking out. That's it in a nutshell. So
Yeah.
anyway, I've stayed in the game. For whatever it's worth, I've stayed in the game. I've write songs. I'll do records. So that's what I do, and I think I'm getting better and better as time goes on. But you know, that's maybe I'm not. Maybe that's just me talking. But I
No, we
feel
like it. It sounds good.
I feel like I'm getting better, and I feel like I'm writing about things that mean more to me.
Right.
But I write a lot of songs, believe it or not, and my wife kind of laughs at me, but I write a lot of songs based on she and I and our relationship and things that we go through. And it's not that it's bad, it's good, but
It's good stuff. Right.
I try. Look, when I write though, I try not to write where it's like, so I'm not really a storyteller writer. I kind of write where things are kind of, I leave it open for the person to get their own interpretation. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
instead of saying, you know, this is how it is, I just write something and whatever somebody else gets out of it. I mean, I would rather somebody get what they want out of a song instead of what I'm trying to portray to them. I mean, so I'll tell you a little to tell you about that, just to kind of give you an idea
Okay.
real quick. I wrote this song on the last record called How Does It Feel?
Okay.
And people like the song. So I got like a message on Facebook one day from this lady, and she said, hey, you don't know me, but my husband and I have been dealing with our daughter OD'd on had a heroin overdose. And she said, so that song, How Does It Feel? Could you tell me what that song is about and what you wrote it about? Because it has helped us get through a lot. And I was at that point, I was already like hit. I mean, I was like, oh my God, this is, you know, that's what a songwriter wants. He wants somebody to go, you know, I touch one person and change their life. Well, so on top of that, so I called her, and, you know, I didn't call her. I messaged her back and told her thank you, what I thought it was about. But, you know, like I told you, I leave it open. Well, we played a little show before we went out of town. We were going to go out of town and play a few shows. And so we decided to play in town for a show. And I was on the stage and playing, and it was packed, and I was getting ready to play the song, and I kind of told that story to the crowd. I told you.
Yeah.
It just, and then we're playing the whole show, and I noticed this lady just kind of up front. She's up front, and then I'm like, okay, I didn't think anything about it, but after the show, she's still standing there. And I walked up to her and said, hey, I said, thank you for staying for the show. That's awesome. You know, she's like, well, thank you for playing How Does It Feel and telling that story, because I'm the woman that's about that. I mean, that it was about my daughter, and I was I was almost in tears. I was just like, oh my God, I cannot believe that this is actually happening, you know?
Yeah.
So that's very moving. And especially if you're a songwriter, something like that kind of makes you feel like what you did meant something. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
I just had that same conversation with another musical artist today. It's an up and coming artist, but nevertheless, Armageddon. We just had him on our show about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm going to be totally transparent here, Todd. I deal with depression and anxiety day in and day out, and the last the last couple of weeks, it's just been a really rough go for me. And for some reason, you know, the songs that I was listening to had nothing to do with, you know, mental health or everyday life or whatever. But nevertheless, I would listen to them when I would be like feeling really down and out, and it would bring me right back up. And I just had that chat with Armageddon today, and he said the exact same thing you did. Yeah. And he said pretty much the exact same thing that you did. You know, hearing stuff like that is, you know, just reminds us like this is the reason why we do what we do, and we want our music to touch your life in some way, you know. So yeah, absolutely. And it touches you in your heart. That's so
true. I mean, that's to me, that's what music's about. I mean, if you can reach out to 20,000 people, and you're playing in a big place, and you can reach out to 20,000 people, that's beautiful. Mm-hmm. But if you can reach out to one person and change their life or help them get through a situation, that means to me that the song you wrote has depth. I mean, it doesn't mean you're a great writer or nothing, but as a songwriter, you can write all day long, but I try to write now. I just write about what I feel. You know, when I was younger, I wrote about partying and girls and whatever it was, fast life, you know. And then I've kind of matured as a writer, but I've matured more as a writer because I have more to write about, and I'm older, and I've got a better vocabulary probably than I did then too. But my wife says I use the F-bomb too much. She always scolds me, but it's just part of my language. But I will say this though, that like the guy you're talking about, writing a song for someone and it hitting somebody like that, I always said music is the best medicine. It's a healer. So it doesn't matter. I mean, it's the greatest line of communication between the world. Music makes you feel good. Music, if you're feeling down and out, music makes you feel good. Absolutely. Music can make you feel sad. It can make you feel really sad too. I mean, I get that part of it too. But the bottom line is, if you write a song and it touches somebody and makes them feel like they can carry on or get through, you know, their daughter's deal, like that lady. If you do that, to me, I mean, then you've done your work, you know, because as a songwriter, you don't really know. If you're always wondering if they're gonna like it, they're gonna like my song, you know. I mean, it's coming from my heart. If somebody tells you they don't like it, and if you're in the music business, well, it used to be a music business. If you're in the business long enough, I always tell people you're gonna have somebody that's gonna say, a critic or somebody, and they're gonna hate it. They're gonna tell you suck. You should stop music immediately. And if you listen to them, then you've ruined yourself. And then if somebody tells you that you're the greatest thing on earth and no one's better than you, if you believe that, then you're done. You'll never try to get better. So you have to I think you got to stay close to your heart and just not try to you got to be in the game. You don't want to go against the grain. But if you're not writing from the heart or playing from your soul, then let me just tell you right now, I've been in rock and roll a long time. And one thing I can say about rock and roll fans, they ain't stupid. They can look through all of that. So if they feel something, it ain't about how many chords that you have in your song. But if you touch somebody, look at Bret Michaels. He wrote 2 #1 hits with 3 chords. But it's all about the emotion. And does that touch you? Does that make you feel better? Does that make your day better? Does it make you go back and think about something in your childhood? Those are the songs. If I'm driving down the road and I write a song, and I'm saying this now because I'm writing some new stuff, but if I go down the road and I'm looking, it's a gray day or whatever, and I'm looking, I see people, whatever, if that takes me away from reality for a minute, then I feel like I've done something good with the song, because that's what Led Zeppelin used to do. I'm not comparing this to Led Zeppelin. I'm just saying that's what a song does, is when it takes you away from the song and puts you in a different state of mind. Yes. That's what a great song does for me. So that's enough of that, Todd. I got you. I'm talking to myself. Enough of that, Todd. I seem to want to. I got so much to say. I just seem to ramble. They told me a long time ago when I did an interview. Zeke Logan, rest his soul, in Memphis, who broke Roxy. He said, I did an interview, and he was like, "That's the worst interview I've ever heard, Todd. Take this cassette. Take this cassette of Ted Nugent home with you and listen to it, and then come back and listen to another interview." He asked Ted Nugent one question, and Ted Nugent told every answer of every question that you could ever ask, and it was more interesting. So I thought, I just do that. But then again, my best friend is my Australian Terrier named Henry, and he's deaf. So people laugh about that my best friend's deaf. So because I talk a lot. Anyway, I'm sorry. Y'all just jump in anytime and say, "Well, let me hear about this." And I'm sorry, I'm drinking. Hey, I don't know where y'all are, but I'm drinking a beer, so I'm sorry. It's my only thing I do after work is drink one beer.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You and you relax and enjoy and just cut loose and do your thing.
Well, we actually have another.
All right. Well, that sounds fun. Go ahead.
No, you're good. We actually have another question. I'm just going to go to the board for a sec. Dustin McDaniel chimes in again. He says, sorry to ask another question, but this is an honor. I actually got to briefly meet Todd at Minglewood Hall 4 or 5 years ago. Every Mother's Nightmare played that night as well. My question is, who, if any, are some of the newer hard rock bands that you like? There aren't many for me, but I love Dirty Honey and The Pretty Reckless.
Wow, that's a great. I love The Pretty Reckless, so that's one of my favorites. I love Dirty Honey. I'm trying to think, who am I into? Man, I don't know. That's a great question, because me personally, when you're looking at a lot of bands and stuff, what's out there right now, I mean, I know that Greta Van Fleet got a bad rap for a while, sounding like Zeppelin. I mean, I get that. I get that they got the bad rap. But honestly, they're a good band. They are a little bit too much like Zeppelin, but they're a good band. Dirty Honey, I was thinking about them today, which is weird that you brought them up, because I was thinking those guys, they're badass. I'm waiting on something from them. And then, but the Pretty Reckless, I mean, that's some real rock and roll to me, man. On top of that, who else is out there right now that's really kicking my butt? I don't know, man. I mean, I like a lot of the new stuff, but I will be honest with you. I get into writing mode and stuff, And I just don't listen to a lot of stuff because it'll influence me to write like that. And I don't want to write like that because I got to be original. I really listen to the Beatles and Paul McCartney pretty much every day of my life.
That's cool. That's good music right there. Yeah.
But that's a great question. And I really do. I mean, I really do think that a lot of the new bands are badass. So yeah, I mean, if it's good, I like it. There's a lot of bands that need to be heard. There's a lot of bands that don't have record deals that are badass. That's the one thing about Dirty Honey, I will say, that they didn't have a deal or anything. They just had somebody with some money, and they went out there and conquered and kicked some butt, and they have hit songs, and they're badass. So
yeah,
kudos to those guys.
There you go.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's it.
I hope that answered your question, buddy.
You're making someone's night here. That's awesome. Thank you for tuning in, Dustin. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Now let me make sure I get that right. Is his name Dustin or Justin?
Dustin McDaniel.
Dustin McDaniel. Mr. Dustin McDaniel. Thank you so much for caring, and whatever questions you have, you ask and I will answer.
Have you ever been starstruck meeting anybody?
Let me think about that. That is the answer to that is absolutely yes, and I'm getting ready to tell you who. Who? Phil Collins.
Ooh.
Tony Bennett.
Nice.
I met Tony Bennett.
Yeah.
Who else? Well, I mean, honestly, man, so we were rehearsing. So what you do in LA is that they had us in a place called Mates, and Mates is a rehearsal spot for doing pre-production for your record or whatever. So Mike Klink had us in Guns N' Roses, the room that Guns N' Roses were in, and the big room, whatever. But the honesty of part, I got starstruck a little bit on one day. I pulled up and Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx I'd met them before. They threw us a party when we got to LA, but Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx came to our rehearsal, sat on the couch while we rehearsed. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
I know, but look, hold on now. That was cool, but this is cooler. I mean, I don't know if it's cooler, but it's awesome. So that was cool. And then all of a sudden one day I pulled up and I was late. And when I pulled up, Scotty T was standing out front, our drummer, and there was this dude hanging out the top of his sunroof, and it was Gene Simmons. So I got there. God. Listen to this shit. I walk in and Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons are at our rehearsal. So they came in, sat on the couch while we rehearsed, and I looked around at the guys and said, should we break into cold gin or something? I mean, that's an iconic thing for me because all of our lives, all we did was listen to Kiss. That's all we did when we were young. And now all of a sudden, here we are, the two guys, and they were actually doing the video shoot for God Gave Rock, or rehearsing for God Gave Rock and Roll to You in a warehouse next door. And we used to hang out with Eric Singer all the time. He was always super cool with us. And when those guys came, that is like beyond rock star, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's like it's a whole nother it's a whole other level of all that. I mean, it is. I mean, I can't explain it, but yeah, have I ever been starstruck? Yeah. Other than that, I'm trying to think of who I've met that I'm starstruck by. That's probably enough, isn't it?
But that's pretty cool. Now, have you ever met Def Leppard?
No, I have
No.
not. I wanted to meet Dave Grohl, Nirvana. I wanted to meet. I mean, if I could meet Led Zeppelin, I'd be in heaven. But that ain't gonna
Yeah.
happen. Ozzy would be a good one to meet.
Yeah.
Uh, but no, I haven't. I mean, but I met a lot of rock stars in L.A. That's the thing,
That's
because I
so
went to a
cool.
lot of parties. And it kind of got kind of normal for me, and I don't mean that in a bad way towards, but it got kind of to where we didn't really, you don't treat people that way
Right.
because everybody's kind of cool. You don't want to go up and be like, I did. Oh, I'll tell you. Oh, I got the story. You listen to this shit.
See, there's a difference.
So I was,
there's a
oh,
difference
this is funny
between
though.
Starstruck
So,
and fanboy. There's a difference.
all right, well, listen to this. This is crazy. Whatever this is, I'm in. So I was with Scotty T, Rachel Bolan, Scotty Hill, and Snake, and their drummer. And and Matt Sorum was there. We were at the Rainbow, and we were all in the booth getting, hammered. And all of a sudden, somebody walks up and said, or Scotty walked up and said, "Dude, Diamond Dave is in the house, David Lee Roth." And I'm like, what? He's like, "Yeah, dude, Diamond Dave's in the house." So it's a rule of thumb when you're in the Rainbow, you do not mess with people that are there. It's just what they
Okay.
say. So
Yeah.
so anyway, I decided that I'm not going over and saying, "Oh, Todd, you got to go, man. You'll do it." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not going." Well, anyway, long story short, the guys at Skid Row were like, "Come on, Todd, do it." And I'm like, "No, man, you do it." And they were like, I'm like, "Dude, you're in fucking Skid Row. You go fucking say hi, dude. You're rock stars." No way. They were fucking freaked out. So Scotty T says, "Come on, Todd, do it." So I did it. I went over and I sat in the booth with David Lee Roth. And as I sat in that booth, I sat there. And then David Lee Roth said, "Sit down." Well, I was standing up. I was like, "Hey, man, I don't want to bother you. I just wanted to tell you I'm out here making a record. And you're one of my biggest influences. And thank you." He's like, "Hey, have a seat." Well, his guy that was with him had gotten up. So I went to sit down. And I sat there just long enough for Dave to get ready to say hi to me. And the dude picked me up, and it was cool. But he picked me up. He's like moving right along, and all the guys were cheering. They were like, "Ah," I was like, I felt like, that was a good moment for me. I mean, David Lee Roth. But you know what? There were no cell phones back then, so nobody believes a freaking word I say. So
You couldn't snap a
they
picture,
got
take a selfie. You couldn't do any of
yeah,
it.
they got
Oh,
to.
no.
Yeah, you have to take my word for it. Everybody has to take my word for it. So that kind of sucks. But it's
I know.
memories. It's memories.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah. I get starstruck often, but I've learned to keep my fangirl side in check. But yeah, lots of people have had me starstruck. I met was it
Really?
4.5 years ago. I met what's his name from Ghost, the singer, Tobias Forge, who was a big influence on me. And
Oh yeah.
I mean, again, there's no proof that I met him, but I'm telling you straight up, I did meet him. Security would not let me take pictures with him, but nevertheless, I met him. And then at Rockin' Pod the last time, I was kind of starstruck to see Carmine and Vinny there. Carmine,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, they're
I couldn't believe it.
Apathy, yeah, or whatever.
Yeah,
However they say their name, but yeah, I mean that's pretty big time though.
yeah. And then I'm also a big fan of Accept, so like I saw, um, Christopher Williams and Martin Motnick there, became very good friends with them, but I was kind of like, oh my god, like this, they're right freaking here. Oh my god, oh my god. And then
Right.
Accept came to Toronto back in October, and of course, who's the man that started it all? Wolf Hoffman. So I went to that show with my mom. We were just chilling at the hotel, and they happened to be staying in the same hotel as us. And I'm sitting there talking to Martin, and we're just shooting the shit about random things. Not like we weren't really talking about anything in particular, but I turn around and Wolf Hoffman's coming up to me. I'm like, holy shit, holy shit.
Like, oh no, oh jeez.
That's
Really?
the man. That's the man. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, that's what it's all about, though, right there. That's real stuff, and it doesn't matter. I mean, it's good to have selfies and stuff because that way you can actually say, "Hey,
proof.
look, I've got proof." But the bottom line is, as long as you got it in your head and you know what you did, that's all that matters. It don't really matter.
It matters, and you like, yeah.
And I'm sure that they would appreciate it more if it didn't get out there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, I took selfies with Martin and Christopher that day at the hotel, and with respect to their privacy and all that, I didn't post it until like days later, and I didn't even mention the hotel. It's like, you know what? No. I was there just chatting with friends. That's why I was there,
Yeah.
Right.
What it came down to.
Yeah, well, I'm sure a lot of those guys probably appreciate the fact that you don't throw it out there. A lot of them want that privacy. But hey, like I always tell people, if you get in the music business and you go or any kind of entertainment business, you got to somewhat, don't shut yourself out from crowds and stuff, because that's what those are. And I know this sounds cliche, and it is cliche, but it's the truth. The truth of the matter is that the people that come and see you play, and the people that want you to sign an autograph, and the people that just want you to take a picture with them, whatever, those are the people that made you be able to be in a situation that you're in.
Right. They made you who you are. Yeah.
Right. So you have to give them
something
that.
back.
You have to. Yeah. I'm sorry. You have to. But anybody that doesn't, to me, is just like, I know Dave Grohl doesn't do autographs, but that's a different story. I mean, Dave Grohl, when you go to his concert, it's almost like being, what I mean? It's almost like you're in the living room with him anyway. But yeah, but I strongly believe that. I strongly believe that you have to give everyone your attention.
Right, but look,
no matter what.
On the flip side, Todd, these fans, that might ask for a picture need to know their limits too. Like there's one. Okay, I've always said that if I see, somebody that I admire, a musician, an actor, actress, whatever, if the time is right, if the situation is right, I will approach them and say, hey, do you mind if we take a picture? But there's one situation that I refuse. I don't care how famous you are. I am not going to approach you if you're with your family. That's a no-no for me.
I think that is absolutely the only way. You have to. That's called respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, but there's people that don't have that. They don't have that filter. They don't understand that. So they don't, they're blind. All they're seeing is rock and roll stars. So they're blind when it comes to that. And there's a lot of people out there like that. And, it's not a good thing. But I don't know. I haven't been in a situation, I'm not a big time rock star. So, I mean, I got my little bit of people that come and see me, and, like I said, I don't look at myself as any kind of rock star guy, but hey, man, you know what, guys, you choose that life and you make the money and you get to do all the things you like to do, then, you got to know that you're going to be open to that. But yeah, I mean, I think people have to give people respect. I do agree with you. If somebody's with their family, I mean, show a little respect. I mean, don't just be an ass, let them know, hey man, I love what you do, but when they're with their family, let it go, man. Save it for another day.
If they look your way, I would wave maybe, but I'd still keep my distance. Like that's their time with their family. I would never do that. It's no.
I get it. Some people spend their whole life to try to find somebody, and when they find them, they're like, hey, I'm doing everything I can to get near these people. Yeah.
Have you ever heard, Todd? Have you ever heard?
That's just the way people are.
Todd,
Yeah.
have you
I'm
ever
sorry?
heard of no, it's okay. Have you ever heard of a TV show called Suits?
What? What's it called?
Called
Suit.
Suits.
I don't
Suits?
think so.
No.
Okay, well, long story short, it's
I don't.
it's a sitcom, I guess, that was made up in Canada, but it's made its rounds in the US as well. Anyway, long story short, I was out at a mall one day with my mom and my son, and we're walking around. All of a sudden, one of the actors, like one of the main actors of that show, was there. I was like, "Oh my God, that's Rick Hoffman. I know you." But he was with his wife and he was with his two kids. What did I do? I kept my distance. He looked over. He acknowledged, like, "Yeah, I see you," but I didn't bother him. That's just what
Well,
you
that's
do.
because you have. That's because, but that's just who you are as a person. So there's a lot of people that don't have, like I was saying earlier, they don't have that filter. So they're not. They don't think that way. You know, they're not thinking the way you think.
Yeah.
You care about his family. You care about his well. You know what he and his family think, because he might not want his family being involved with all the stuff he's involved with. You know, and a lot of people are like that. They just don't want that part of their life showing.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, I get
And
that. You
Rick,
know, I
that day,
mean,
I'll never forget it. He was incognito, but people were still, people still recognized him. I'm like, "Oh my God, that's so funny."
It's like,
oh
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean,
But yeah, I mean, that's good though that you did what you did, because I'm sure that they appreciated that. I mean, but there's just people, fans are fans. You can't, I mean, they are who they are. They're going to do what they do.
Yeah.
And you got to be lucky to have them on one end. And on the other end, you're like, you know, I haven't ever been in a situation where things got too hairy, because, I mean, like I said, I mean, I've done a lot. I mean, I did the Rocket Jock baseball thing I was on Tommy Lee's team. So I got to meet Rob Lowe. Me and Rob Lowe hung out for a long time. I mean, I got to meet
Aw.
a lot of people. I mean, I could go on and on about all the people that I've met, but it won't make a difference. The bottom line is, you know, I'm still rocking and rolling, and I'm not young anymore, but I'm young at heart. Like, it's just in my blood. I just love it. I
Yes.
love doing. So I'll tell you this: I love what you guys are doing, and I'm not just trying to blow that. I do. I love the podcast. I love all the radio stuff. I love the stuff like this, because to me, this is what rock and roll is right now, and
Yeah.
this is what's keeping people. This is what's keeping people uh, alert and informed about what's going on. And you guys are coming back and taking some of the bands from back in the day. You believed in it, and that's where your heart is. And when you do stuff like this, it honors me, but it also just makes me know that you guys care about y'all are real. I mean, it's
Oh
easy
man.
to jump on a bandwagon of what's going on, but there's it's weird. We go play these festivals and stuff, and there's so many of these bands that I love that are coming back and playing. But I always hear people say, well, rock and roll's dead. Well, it's dead on radio because somebody said not to play it. But you go to these festivals, and these people are in groves, and they are living it. Rock and roll fans are the absolute greatest fans ever.
You ain't kidding.
And
And I'll fight you on that one.
we really appreciate those words. I mean, we
Yes, we
are
do.
very, very, very passionate about what we do. And it's nice to hear that we're making a difference in your lives, keeping the music alive, keeping you guys, in the limelight of everything that's going on, because this is what we're passionate about. We want everyone else to know how awesome you are and how awesome everybody else is that we get to talk to. So
Absolutely.
Well, that's awesome. And we're trying to get some new music out for people to hear. It's I actually had a whole record finished, which is crazy. It's finished, and I don't know what's going to happen with it. I had a little bit of a fallout with the studio, but we have a new drummer.
Okay.
we gotta. So the guys in my band, or I say my band, it's not my band by any means, but I guess I've been around longer than the other ones. So the guys are. We got a new drummer named Chris Cook, who's kind of a Tommy Lee-ish guy. I mean, he's tall, lanky, and just great. He fits in well. And of course, Josh still plays in the band, our bass player. And then we got our guitar player who was on our last record. He's been with us a few years now. It's Jeff Codron, used to be with Full Devil Jacket. So we have the band's tight. We're getting ready to go do something though. I don't know if you guys know about it or not. So we are in the midst of regrouping and stuff, but we're getting ready to go play the Whiskey.
Oh, hot damn!
Oh,
yeah, we're headlining the we headline the. So, yeah, we're headlining on April 12th. April 12th, and Still City's playing with us. It's going to be a great show. We're so excited about it, man. I mean, so last time we played LA was the Troubadour in 93 or late, maybe 92 or 93. So I haven't been to LA in that long. So I'm excited to go. I'm taking my wife. We're going to make like a trip. We're going to make a fun time about it. So it's going to be more than just rock and roll. We're going to stay a few days and hang out and just do kind of, have fun with my wife and the guys. And so, yeah, it'll be fun. So I didn't know if you guys were in LA because I was going to invite you to the show, but.
That would have been awesome.
That would be so sweet.
And by the way, I'm still inviting you. I'm inviting you to the show, even though I know you're not there.
Oh, thank you for the invite. We appreciate the invite. Thank you from the bottom and top of our hearts.
So, you know what? This whole time we've been doing this, I don't know where to look. Where do I look? So y'all can look right at me.
I guess wherever you want.
Look straight on. Come over to your left. I think it's my right. You got to get more in the picture because you're falling off the screen.
There, you're good right there.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
I can't tell. I'm sorry about having to do this out here, but I got everybody in the world inside my house doing all kind of stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, well that's not going to work out. My wife's like, well, if you'd have told me about it. But it's all good because I like being out here. I like doing everything in my truck. So I'm good.
You get more privacy, more quiet.
Todd, I wonder, do you have any plans at any point in time to come up to Toronto and do a gig?
I would love to. We did. I'm trying to think. We played Canada back in the day, and I had the biggest time of my life. But there's a lot of reasons I had a big time of my life. We had a good time. We partied a lot, but I don't know what that is. But yeah, I mean, we would like to play there. We'd like to play everywhere. That's the thing we want to do this year is we want to play, and it's just going to be a matter of us getting out. I just don't. We're not going to do the tour bus and get out and do that kind of stuff. I don't think. I think we just do flyouts. But we've been talking to Every Mother's Nightmare about maybe trying to get out and do some kind of, tour. It's just so expensive these days, and you don't get that tour support like you used to, and that
That's true.
you don't have the multi-million-dollar companies behind you going, oh yeah, dude, do whatever you want. We're right here with you. So we don't have that anymore. So we're like, was that better over here? I can't tell.
No, you're good.
You're good.
The reason, hey, I'm sorry, it's too late to interview, but the reason I ask y'all, people have actually told me that before, and oh my God. All right, he's out of here. All right, so now y'all.
You mentioned.
Uh-oh.
What?
I've lost you. You hear me?
No,
we're here.
Yeah, we're here.
We can see you.
Okay, hang on. How about now?
Yeah, can you hear us?
I don't know why you're not coming through my thing. I think the dude calling screwed my whole thing.
We can see you. You're still
I
here.
mean, I can hear you, but I mean, it's not like I can hear you. Oh, I know. Hang on. I don't want to lose y'all, so let me do
It's
this.
okay.
We'll do this all right.
The phone call probably knocked it off.
Oh, no. Oh, can you hear us now?
I mean, I can hear y'all, but if you can hear me, okay, that's fine. I just don't hear you like I did a while ago,
Yeah,
'cause
we
I
can
had
hear
y'all
you.
on my
We can hear you.
Bluetooth, and dude just screwed me up. I told him I'd call him back. I don't know what the hell he wants.
Oh,
He mentioned Every Mother's Nightmare, Lisa.
I know. I know. You gonna
They're
say
still my
it?
buddies, man.
You
We
gonna
talk a
tell them what
lot.
happened? We had him on the show, Every Mother's Nightmare, was it a month ago? About that
No,
or
it was
so?
it was back in September. And we have a running joke now between us and Rick Rule. He said the next time he sees us, he gonna bite our necks.
Yes. So he's going to hold true to that because we're going to Rock and Pod, and he's going to be there. You better watch out.
So what days are you going to be at Rock
Kandi got her
Pod?
whip. She got her whip ready.
Oh boy.
When are you going to be at Rock and Pod? What days? You going to be there the whole time?
Yeah,
so the whole entire time.
Lisa and I are both coming in on the 16th and leaving on the 20th, so we'll be there the whole time.
As mistresses.
I'm pissed right now. Hang on, I'm trying to get you. I'm connected. It says we're connected.
Oh, he probably just can't see us, but we can see him.
All right, never mind. I'll get off of that. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. I was just, y'all can continue. I was trying to get back on Bluetooth. I can't believe dude messed me up. I can't hear y'all really well right now, so.
Oh, no.
That's okay. I'm scared to click off. I think I can click and look on my settings.
Do you want to go out and come back in?
No, hold on a sec. I don't want to do any of that. I want to keep y'all on the line. So hang on.
Now he's sideways.
He's determined. He's determined, Lisa.
That's right.
If I cut out, I'll call you right. I'll come right back in. But I got to get you. I can't hear y'all. So hang on. Let me see if I can fix this.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, so we're definitely looking forward to Rock and Pod. As I said earlier, you guys, if you want to come to Rock and Pod, the expo itself is on March the 18th at the Nashville Fairgrounds. If you want your tickets, haven't bought them yet, and want to get a discount, go to www.rockandpodexpo.com and put in that promo code. You see it right at the bottom of your screen there, Mistress
Coming
Business.
right along, Mistress Business.
20% off your early or general admission ticket on us.
Woo! How cool is that?
Like I said, we're representing Mistress Business, so needless to say, we will be dressed to the nines. We will have our whips and our paddles and all that good stuff. So come on out and hang. We don't bite, at least not hard. We won't bite you hard.
Not that hard. Yeah, we won't bite that hard.
No, maybe Rick Rule will. Rick Rule, if you're watching, we're still waiting for you. We need that neck bite.
I think it's coming your way, Kandi, because he has specially said, Kandi, I want to bite her neck.
Hot damn. All right.
It's coming your way.
But that's okay. I'm ready for you, Rick.
How about this? He'll bite your neck, I'll bite his. Ha!
Oh, boy.
There we go.
I might bite him right back. Who knows? No. But yeah, we're super excited. And for those of you that don't know, like Lisa and I have been doing this show for a very long time now, but we have never actually met in person. So this will be will be the first time that we are going to be actually meeting in person. So we're super excited.
I can't wait. Yes, it's going to be so cool.
Super excited.
Yes, it's going to be like, as soon as we get there, it's going to be like drop my things, go running and hugging. And then we're going to be all acting all crazy.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, we're really excited. We're looking forward to hanging with all of our friends. Our old friend Matt Porter from the Kiss Room and Monco Radio, he said it best, is that that we talk to each other all the time on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and whatnot. Every year, we are so lucky to have this. I mean, metal festivals, music festivals, they all have these awesome events that y'all get to go to. But what is there for podcasters to go to? I mean, we talk to each other all the time on social media, but we never get to see each other in person. So once a year, all of our friends, all of the best podcasters, everyone that listens to our shows, we all congregate once a year and we get to hang out. Like, it's the biggest party ever. So anyway, welcome back, Todd.
Hey, Todd,
Sorry.
back in the house. Yes.
You guys are absolutely loud and clear right now, which is great. And I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
No,
It's
So
okay.
anyway.
Things happen. It's
So anyway.
okay.
So I don't know.
I'm sorry about that. So, what's up? But I
I don't know how much.
so I only lost you for a second, and I love what you're saying about the podcasters and that. I thought Chris has done and Aaron, they've done a
my
great
God.
job on that. And
Yeah.
it's great. It's getting bigger and bigger every year.
Oh,
Seems
yeah,
like
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely.
So we don't even know. My guys are asking me, well, what are we doing this year there? Are we playing? I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Chris, I didn't have the heart to tell the guys, well, I don't think Chris was thinking all y'all were coming. He thought just me. So now Chris is like, oh, it's all cool. But I don't think we're playing or anything. So my wife and I usually go. So we'll probably just drive to Nashville and hang out for a day or two. And it's always cool because you meet so many people there and see a lot of your friends. And my buddy Anthony from Tora Tora lives pretty close right around that. So I go. I go see him a lot too. He's a great guy. So
Oh man, we
that's
love
so
Anthony
cool.
Corder. We love Anthony.
he's
And
my
yeah,
buddy.
we've actually.
Everybody loves Anthony.
I mean, we'll see.
Always telling you're too fucking nice, man.
I mean, Todd,
Talking about him. So
Todd, we'll see
go
you
ahead.
in
I'm
Nashville.
sorry.
We'll see you in Nashville. But we actually did request an interview with you, so cross our fingers that we get that. We're really stoked about that.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to do that, and I want to involve some of the other guys and have them with me and get there to talk to them, and they're all cool as shit, man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So we're definitely we're playing the whiskey right after that, and we got some new material coming out pretty soon. I'm working on some new stuff. After I wrote a whole record, I'm still working on some new stuff, and I think I'd like the new record to be. I think it's hopefully be a little heavier. And I have no expectations. All I want is a great record for everyone to listen to. That's the only expectation I want. I want people to have fun with rock and roll, and that's pretty much it.
That's it.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if we are lucky enough to get that interview with you, bring your guys, bring your boys. Like we want to hear all about.
I want you to do that interview. We don't have. I don't know what we've got lined up, if we have anything lined up, but I want you guys to do that. I want the interview, so make it happen.
That's right.
And that way we can talk it face to face.
Oh, man.
I love face-to-face talking like that.
I'm gonna put a bug in Tracy's ear because she's the one that's coordinating everything. We love Tracy. Shout out to you, Tracy, if you're watching.
Tracy.
I mean, she does a killer.
All
job.
right, Tracy.
So Tracy, if you're watching, let's make this happen, okay?
Yes,
make this happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
it'll be fun, and I just, I love Rockin' Pod, and I'm looking forward to going to LA, and it's just, it's not a whole lot, but it's a start for us for the year. But I'm looking forward to new material more than anything, I think. So,
yeah.
But hey, I want to do an interview with you guys, so you got to make that happen. I mean, I want to be in person. I want to see you guys. I want to hang out. I want to get my guys to be there with me, and we'll just have a, you know what I'm saying? I want them. It's always about me, and I understand that, but I like the guys to get involved sometimes because they're like, it makes them feel like that they're actually, doing something. So
yeah, absolutely.
That sounds
Yeah,
terrible
so
for me to say that, but that's the truth. I like my guys to be involved.
absolutely. I mean, look, and we're gonna send this video to Tracy, and so she can see, so she can hear. Lisa, is there anyone backstage, my dear? Anyone?
No, he's not
Nobody
here
yet.
yet. No.
Okay, so we're almost running out of time.
I got you.
I'm hoping that
We're
our
gonna
special
you and
guest-
we have to do an interview there because you'd have to do like a part 2 and 3 on me. I mean, I've got a story to tell, and I'm not saying that for any other reason except I got stories that you guys want to hear. Trust me.
Exactly. Right.
I got Janie Lane stories. I got
another phone call,
well,
apparently.
yeah, I can't.
Oh,
That's my wife calling.
you
I've been
you're a
sitting in front of my
one-in-a-million.
house and my wife's freaking calling. Isn't that crazy?
All right. Well,
Once again, here we are. I'm off the deal again, but that's fine. I can hear y'all.
we can let you go because you seem like you have a lot of things that you have to take
I
care
mean,
of.
hey, let me ask y'all something. So, are y'all for sure going to be in Rocky Pine?
Absolutely, 100%.
We're
okay. Well, tell them that Todd Poole said Roxy Blue wants to do an interview with y'all.
Okay, because Kandi will get in touch with Tracy and she'll make that happen.
Make it happen so we can see each other face to face, and we can have a good time.
You got it.
Actually, let me see if she's online right now. I might bombard.
But hey, I'm gonna text you my my phone number.
Okay.
I'll text you guys my phone number on the messenger.
Okay,
and,
sounds good.
Just text me or call me or text me and say, hey, you know who it is, and say, hey, and then text me and let me know that you got that set up or if you need my help getting it set up.
Okay.
And then because I want to do a really good interview with you guys. You guys are awesome. But
I'm
like
you.
trying to do all this, and you guys are probably going, this guy's a freaking nut. So
no, we love you. You're amazing.
Well, I love you guys, and rock and roll forever. And I'll put the word out about you guys, man.
Oh,
thank you so much.
You need to get me and Anthony and Rick Rule on here together. Rick wants to come to Rocket Pod, so I might drag him over there with me.
We got to do that before the show. We'll set it up. I'll contact Rick Rule. I'll contact you, and we'll pull you and
Anthony
you get the other
as well.
And get the other one in. We'll make it happen.
Okay. Well, look, I'm gonna send you my phone number so you can stay in touch with me.
You got it.
You guys be cool. Love you. Rock and roll.
We love you. Mwah.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you for coming to the show. Bye-bye. Wow.
All right. So, and Todd is still on. Hey, Todd.
Hi, Todd.
I'm still here. Okay. I know.
There we go.
There he goes.
All right. So, yeah, we were gonna wrap things up. Obviously Todd had to go. We want him to be able to enjoy his evening with his family.
Yeah.
So, but you know, Todd, thank you so much for joining us. We love you. We are really looking forward to seeing you in Nashville. Yes. I just said that with a Nashvilleian accent, so I guess I'm
Nashville. We're getting ready for our Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville.
My part of my country still coming
out. And a message has gone out to Tracy McAndrew.
Yay.
So we'll definitely have to make that. You know what? That would be a really cool interview to do. We got Todd Poole, Anthony Corder, and Rick Rule on one show. That would be freaking hilarious.
We'll make it happen. I'll contact Rick Rule and Craig and everything. We'll get that set up, and he will give us the phone number for Todd, and we'll get that. And who's the other person?
Todd Poole, Rick Rule. Hey, that rhymes. And Anthony Corder from Tora Tora.
Okay, so he's going to get him because he's got that set up. So everything's good to do. And we want to do that before Rockin' Pod so we can talk all about what's going to happen there and what's going on and all the going-ons and all the fun stuff.
Absolutely. And again, and again, and again, and again, we are going to talk about this every damn day until the expo. If y'all have not bought your tickets yet, go to www.rockandpodexpo.com. VIP tickets are sold out. Early and general admission tickets are still for sale. If you want a discount, enter that promo code there, Mistress Business, when you check out. 20% off on us.
How cool is that?
And you know what? I'll tell you this right now. Anyone who buys a ticket to Rock and Pod and uses, our promo code, we will give you some swag. We'll give you some special swag and some hugs, and maybe we'll let you whip us once or twice. So that'll be something.
Yeah, we'll have a paddle at the table. We'll have plenty of other devices and our whips. So we have a lot of fun stuff sitting on our table.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna want to be at our table.
And like I said early on, we do have a couple of special guests that will be joining us. We are not announcing it just yet. We're kind of building up the excitement, but definitely worth checking out the expo and hanging out with us and meeting special guests that we have hanging out at our table. That'll be super awesome. Best part of it all, though, by far, never mind all the other podcasters. We love you, though. And the musicians, we love you guys too. Lisa and I will be meeting in person for the first time. And, there's nothing like meeting your sister in person for the first time. That is super exciting. So I can't wait to meet you.
I can't wait to meet you. Mwah. It's going to be so much fun.
Absolutely.
Super cool.
All right. Now, with that being said, we should probably wrap things up. We got a long day ahead of us tomorrow. But thank you so much for tuning in. Amy for dropping us a line, Alfonso for dropping us a line, Dustin, thank you so much for your questions. We're happy we were able to get to your question. There were some good questions there. That's awesome. But thank you everybody for tuning in. Tell everyone about Front Row Promotions and of course Mistress Business.
Yay!
We love you guys. Thank you so much. And y'all can't see me right now. Again, I've been not feeling the greatest today, but I've got my heart right here in front of my screen. Feel it. We got you.
Feel it. Bum, 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 bum. There you go.
Over to you.
Awesome. I just want to say thank you all for who came on Front Row Promotions, who watched our show, and who sends us the love and questions and comments. We love you. And thank you again so much for watching our show, being here for us. That helps us, supports us coming to you and giving you all of our energy for what we love and our passion, which is music. And we love our music.
Support live music. Support. How does it go?
Support live music. Support music in the making. And support music everywhere.
There you go.
As we come to you, Front Row Promotions.
Thank you so much, you guys.
And we're going to cut it loose. And we'll say bye now. Bye now. Mistress Lisa and
Mistress Kandi.
There we go. Bye now.